As everybody starts pouring in, as you're reminded, we are in listen-only mode. That means I can't hear you. Please put any questions you have in the questions box. I don't think I'm going to do any polls today, have any handouts or anything like that, but feel free to ask any questions in the chat box. And again, we're going to get started here in one moment. I want you to take a look at the screen, take a screen cap, take a picture of your phone, find when close, and then we'll talk about the deal management toolbox and in future sessions coming up. So it looks like it's 1 o'clock, and I'm going to try to run through this in a very methodical way. I want you to understand how to capture the market and how to go through things like profiling prospects, targeting email campaigns, and lead management. How do we do that in a very efficient and fluid manner? I want to talk a little bit about winning, converting those leads into opportunities, not just converting a lead, but how do we convert that lead into a true opportunity? I want to talk about data, leveraging data to create broker opinion of values. I just had a fantastic conversation with a consultant this week about data, and I'm telling you, if you know the data, you own the data, you run that market. We're going to talk about how to keep on track with our automated timelines and to manage those engagements once they get into that opportunity. How do we continue to manage those engagements inside of our program? And we'll talk a little bit about deal management and client reporting. So we're going to be running in through that. And then look for our future sessions, targeting prospects, listing, marketplace and syndication, tour book and leasing app, investment and comparative lease analysis, and creating flyers, OMs, and deal rooms. So some of the questions that are coming in as we're writing here: how do you suggest someone brand new to RealNex? Do you go to our YouTube channels, get a basic demo, guide to, and so forth? I would say reach out to your local representative. We have them across the whole country, and we're here to help you. If you don't know who your local rep is, you can email me, msmith@realnex.com, and I'll connect you with them. And then they can guide you in the right direction to make sure that you're onboarded officially and then you're running in the right direction. And there's some things within our program that can help you get started. Hopefully that answered that question. As they come in, I will try to get to them as I best. Now, I am not good at PowerPoint, so I'm going to try to close this screen here, and I'm going to say end show, and hopefully you'll be able to run right into my program. So with that said, we are going to talk a little bit about finding the opportunities. Now, my database is a demo database. Your database, when you get started, might be blank. It might be powered by RX Pro with data, or you might want to bring data into the program. Remember, you can easily do that using our import tools. Right up here, you can import anything from properties to tenants, space information to lease comps, sales comps, and we even have another section. So if you are in a competing product and you want to come over to the RealNex platform, you can just go right to RX data, and there's some tools that bring that information in, as well as some comparable tools for lease and sales comps. And I'll talk to you a little bit how that works in a minute. So profiling prospects, right? We want to predict right opportunities and ripe opportunities for that matter. And that can be in many different ways. I had a fantastic call earlier today, and they said, what would be really nice is if we had some comparable data, and as we have that comparable data, then we can pull up people in a certain radius in our polygon. And how would we do that? Or, we want to be able to target particular tenants that have their lease expire. How do we do that? And within the RealNex program, you can do that by simply just creating a filter. A filter is a way that you can define that data point, right? And how do we define those data points? Maybe there are clients that have sold a property in the last 5 years, and typically they have a holding period of 5 to 7 years. Inside of our program, we give you the ability to customize your layout, so you can keep track of your business relationship, you can keep track of the investor relationship, as well as you're going to be able to keep track of the tenant relationship. And you can see in here, to help me predict my ripe opportunities, I put in here the investor type. What is the target cap rate? What is their target IRR? Or maybe it's a target GRM and multifamily. You've heard me talk about this ad nauseum. I also put in here a current situation, so I know what's going on currently in the situation. It's kind of a condensed notes and history area. Similarly, you can keep information on the tenant information. This information then can be filtered at any point in time by simply right-clicking and saying filter to narrow down that criteria so you're targeting those opportunities. Now you can do that from a contact side, you can do that from a company side, you can do that from a property sale comp or lease comp side. It doesn't matter where you do that with our program, you can just choose those data points. If you're starting to see that, locations, take for example Big Lots or Dollar General or any of those other stores that you're starting to see have some fluctuation with their tenancy and so forth, that's something that you can use as a data point then to pull that information up with inside of our program. Now, whether you're pulling that information from the property tab, you're pulling it from a sales comp tab, or you're going and using our map to find out likely tenants or buyers in the market and using our tools for that, once you have that information in here, you can easily run targeted campaign emails. Now, that information is targeted right into our program. You simply select Real Campaigns once you've created your filter, and then from here, you're able to utilize one of the many templates that you might have made in the past, any of the templates that we've given you, or you can simply go ahead and you can insert your own HTML code. Maybe you're part of a larger team, a larger office, or a corporate company, and your marketing team creates these beautiful email campaigns. You can do that, and you can pop that in for targeted marketing. But what we don't want to do is we don't want to send somebody that is interested in buying office, an industrial opportunity, or we don't want to reach out to somebody that is, a certain kind of tenant and let them know that, hey, we're trying to see if they're interested in buying this property. We want to make sure that we're as targeted as possible. One of the things that you can do with inside of the RealNex program to really make that a targeted email is to address them. Maybe you want to address them with their first name. Maybe it's their first name, their last name. Maybe you want to insert their company. We give you the ability to insert many different merge fields. So whether it's the full name, the greeting, the title, or the company, you can insert any one of these fields into your email, and it will automatically fill from the information within inside of the program. Think of it as a mass email merge. Now, in here, we can have a text-based message. I want to share an exciting update regarding how we're continuously striving to improve our services and streamline our process to better serve you. This is my email that I've created to reach out to new tenants in the market to introduce myself. Brand new tenant broker. I want to go out and I want to find those ripe opportunities. I went ahead and done a search for clients that are expiring in the last 24 months. I brought them into my RealNex program, and now I'm going to go and target those ripe opportunities. Now, I can schedule this. I saw a post recently on social media, and it was funny because someone said, I got an email at 4:30. I can't believe they hustle so hard. Most likely, it was scheduled earlier. Now, that could be weeks earlier, months earlier, days earlier, or just 12 o'clock at night, send it out for 4 a.m. You can not only send the email now, but you can also schedule at a certain time. So maybe you find out that people open emails better late at night on a Sunday, or maybe they open emails on a Tuesday morning. You can schedule your emails out. We will then track all your statistics so you can run that. So imagine we take all the properties in the area within a 15-mile radius because someone just sold a property. We pulled up the contact records, right? So let's go into that property side of things. Let's not talk about fictitious things, Matt. Let's go in there. So here, we're on the property side of things. Now remember, you can get data from us through RX Pro, or you can bring in any data from Excel you want. Now from here, you can go ahead and you can use the map to filter. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click radius. We know that a property just sold within a 15-mile radius between Paradise, Spring Valley, and West Las Vegas. Okay, so now I have 6,349 properties. Now out of this, I might want to narrow down some of the criteria a little bit more. Maybe I only want to focus on certain kind of retail assets or hospitality or whatever my specific focus is. You can then narrow that down by selecting the type of property you're going after. In this case, I'm going to go to retail. Now, once you narrow down the retail side of things, you can narrow down that even more. Right now, we have 1,418 buildings. Now, out of those buildings, you might have 1,200 owners or maybe less. Utilizing the power of the relational database, you can click linked companies or contacts have you have owned, and then that will then take you into another section, which then you can do that powerful email on. You can put them into a group and follow up. But when I send those emails out, you are going to be able to get all the statistics on there. So as I go into my real campaigns will then show me who opened those emails, who clicked those emails, what emails bounced. So then I can easily take these opens, and now I can say group, add to group, and I'm going to create a new group. And I'm going to say open now. Hopefully you're a better typer than I am. Open email, and then I'm going to select my contact. I'm going to hit save, add contacts. It's added. Now I'm going to go here and I'm going to select on my contacts, and you can see how quick this is. Now I might have to refresh because I did that a little fast. But now we can come over here and we can say email contacts, and it will be inside of here. And then from here, we're going to be able to have that email list pulled up. Maybe that wasn't the right one. We'll probably have to refresh the whole screen. But the idea is you're going to be able to have those contacts right back in your database. And now I'll refresh my whole screen. It will be there. I am running in incognito mode because my computer was having some issues earlier, but we'll see that group inside of there, and then we can find that email list. Now, once we have that information of those people that open those emails, now we can go ahead and we can start working on that lead management. And we have 38 people in this one. Now I can go ahead and I can take all these 38 people if I wanted to, or as I start calling each one of them to see if they're interested in what I'm offering, because again, we're trying to find, I can use my Ring Central dial. I can right click and just add a history and dial through my telephone. I can use Phone Link to dial and click the dial as well. And then as I call each one of these clients, if they're interested, I can easily add each one of those to a project by simply right clicking and typing what that project is. Maybe I'm working on tenant pitches. Maybe I'm working on listing pitches. Maybe I'm a buy-side representative and I'm going out to find buyers in the market. You can easily add those clients as a lead. You can also bulk add to a lead. One of the things you can do is simply select the upper left-hand corner, and now I can say add, and from here I can say add to project, and it will add all my leads to a project, which will allow me to manage those leads. So the idea is to be able to find, we want to be able to find those with profiles and opportunities. We want to run the targeted campaigns, and then we want to do the lead management. From there, we want to convert those leads into opportunities. As we convert those leads into opportunities, those can be opportunities whether they're for listings or leases, sales or tenant representation, buyer representation, business opportunities, development, anything in commercial real estate, our program can manage for you throughout there. Now, as we're converting those opportunities, you can easily manage those in our section called projects. Projects are a very powerful portion of our program. Now, you have the information from your properties. Hopefully, you're compiling comparable data that's out there. Now, a couple opportunities that we can have that we're converting leads into might be something like I've done here. What I've done here is I've created a project, and inside of my project, I keep track of all my properties that I'm going out to pitch, or all my landlord pursuits for that matter. I utilize the Kanban board so I can drag and drop from when I work on evaluation to my initial meeting to presented valuation, and I can move them along. I can also set a probability and a color that I choose. So now I can go ahead and I can work on converting those leads into opportunities and those opportunities into commissions. Whether you're doing that for listing presentations, maybe you're doing it for buyer assignments or anything else, utilizing the Kanban boards within inside the program will help you convert those leads into opportunities and opportunities into commissions. Now, what we also want to do is that same data that we have within inside of our program that we're utilizing for prospecting for property owners or tenants in the market, different companies in the market. Remember, you can utilize that information for a lot of things. And that information isn't just going to be housed inside of here because this is the one portion. It's going to be fluid throughout, whether it's going to be for your listing management, your property presentation, or your comparative lease analysis, that information will flow throughout the program. So as we're going through and we're converting those leads into opportunities, we want to use the comp information so we can leverage that information to create an authoritative BOV. Now I say authoritative because we want to make sure that we talk about the true financials of the building, and then we want supporting information. So you have your contacts, your projects, your properties, your companies, and other information. You also have the ability to turn any property into a comp, import comps into mass, and turn a space or a property into a lease comp. The information for sales comps is available for you, or rent comps available for you when you're creating that valuation. So if you have a client that you're trying to work, remember we pulled that group of properties, we narrowed it down with a radius, we sent a targeted email campaign, we got a message from an owner and the owner says, yeah, I'm interested in meeting. Once the owner says they're interested in meeting, we're tracking that through our project side. Now we can simply hit analyze market. So when you see on one of the properties in here, you're going to notice that there's going to be a button that says analyze or presentation. Send a RealNex investment analysis flyer for presentation. You can send that from the comp side or you can send it from a property side, doesn't matter to us. Once that information then is brought in there, it starts to build your authoritative broker opinion of value. So here is income. Here's your supporting documentation. Those comps are able to be utilized to create that valuation for you. You can create a beautiful PDF. You can create a flip book. It'll map the comps out for you. So rapidly, you're able to create a valuation for your client, a cash flow based upon maybe you're trying to show them why they should sell their building now, or maybe they should do a lease first buy, or maybe they should do a sale lease back. All that information is available within inside of our platform. With financial indicators, charts, and graphs, you should be able to show your prospect that you are the one that they should choose to do business with. Now, once you've created your valuation, you can turn it into a full marketing package, just like I have here, right inside of the Market Edge platform, without doing anything besides a couple additional data points. And maybe that's the more market information or text or anything to that aspect. Now, one of the things that I recommend is once you've gone ahead and you've created your broker opinion of value, I always recommend is creating a timeline to demonstrate your processes of what makes you different. Right? So we talked about the profiling and so forth. One of the ways that you can really differentiate yourself is creating a timeline. So I keep track of all my assignments. Now I have deals that are for sale, for lease, tenant rep, buyer rep. I can move them around and drag and drop. I can see where my commissions are and what's happening. I can see all this, but my client doesn't know all the work that I'm doing for them in order to find them a property as a buyer rep, to manage their leasing expectations and negotiate their lease as a tenant rep. I need to earn my commission, earn my money. And one of the things that we help with is we help by doing and creating these timelines. These timelines could be utilized for things like post-transaction or pre-transaction. This will allow you to create a beautiful Gantt chart of all the activity that you're planning on doing for that client in an easy workflow. You can assign this information to other people that are on your team. So analyze market value is my responsibility. Deliver opinion of value is my senior brokers. Each one of these can be assigned to somebody else on your team. You can print this timeline and add it to your marketing package. So as you're running through your target capturing, you're targeting your audience, you're converting your leads into opportunities, we're creating our evaluations. Now we're going to demonstrate our process and why we should be hired, and to back up the fee that we collect on each one of the deals by showing the clients all what we do for them, because you're only as good as your last deal and people forget what you've done. So this is a great way to remind them. You can print this timeline and you can insert it into your marketing package, or you can always go ahead and load that right in your marketing package inside of Market Edge. There is a beautiful way that you can load that, and you can see here how easy that is to print out. Inside of Market Edge, you can actually just load your marketing plan. So if you want to copy your marketing plan off of a timeline or a timeline off a marketing plan, doesn't matter to us, you can easily load that. Now, we understand that sometimes timelines change. So if your timelines change, you can move by dragging and dropping the information around where you need. Maybe you want to delete one of those events. No problem. You can always delete that event before you engage that timeline. And now with that, it'll allow us to have the time to manage engagements. And we can imagine it manage engagements with those clients by things like create a marketing activity report or execute a listing agreement. Now, as we go ahead and we close each one of these events out in our dashboard, it'll turn into a history. And as we create the history, it'll turn into a marketing activity report. So we're doing one thing that's turning into two things, and those two things are turning into four, and so forth. You can think about it as like a snowball. When you're taking that snowball, it's tiny, but if you let it roll down that hill, it just goes and it works more and more and more for you. And eventually you can let go of that snowball and it will continue to roll and get bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the idea of this, is we want to be able to not only find the information, but then we want to win. We want to be able to win those deals so we can manage those engagements. Your team can manage them throughout the dashboard. So you can see what is outstanding. You can also see what has been completed. Now those completions will all turn into an activity report. So then you can generate that information back to the owner of their building on all the activity. Your team can see where their commissions are at on each one. Not only can they see the deal amount, but they can see their commission, where they're at in the status, whether you like to see it in a list view, you like to see the information in a tile view, or you like the Kanban boards. We give you the ability to customize the color, customize your stages, and even customize the probability of each stage, show charts or hide charts throughout it. Now, not only can you manage each one of your opportunities, but you'll be able to manage those leads on those opportunities. So as your deal is going through, you're able to take that workflow and continue putting people in process into touring, and from touring to offer received, and then out to signature. Now, a lot of times, once people go ahead and they transact and they make the transaction, they forget all these people. And I'll tell you, when you're using the RealNex program, you're not forgetting about all these people that are in here. Now, all these people can't buy that one property. Typically, only one person's going to buy that property or lease that space, or one company's going to buy that property or lease that space. So if you have 15 leads, what do we do with those 15 leads? Well, let's go find properties for them. Let's go find spaces for them. And how do we do that? Real easy. You can simply just check a box and you say linked, and you can say leads. And then we can pull up those contact leads that are in here. Or if we want to pull up all the properties because we have properties as leads, or we want to pull up spaces because we have spaces as leads, we can do that. Then we can go ahead and we can re-engage them with additional targeted marketing throughout the RealNex Real Campaigns program. That'll allow you to do the find, win, and close throughout the program. Now remember, I told you that as you're going in here, you're able to then call your clients, email your clients, you're able to utilize the information to create your broker opinion of value, but you're also able to create beautiful marketing activity reports that will showcase all the things that you promised the client to do. And now you're backing it up. Here's what I said I'm going to do, and here's what I've done. Here's what I said I'm going to do, and here's what I want to do. Remind people of what you've done. I know sometimes I can be a little annoying that I remind people of what I've done before, but otherwise sometimes people forget. You can change the date on the report. Now mine's a demo database, so I'm just going to pick a fictitious date. But in this fictitious date, maybe you want to send a weekly report, a monthly report, or a quarterly report. You can send us the Word, PowerPoint, or Excel. You can change your color on here. We can even customize a report for you if you choose. You want a custom report, just inquire with your local representative, whether that's the East Coast, the Central, or the West Coast, just like me. This information could show things like phone calls, sign calls, tasks, other events you need to follow up with. You can also generate additional reports in here, like our lead reports if you want to see where all your leads and your lead status reports are at. If you have a client that needs to see activity of what's going on in their building live. We even have a portal in the tour book transaction manager. We have the ability for you to be able to see all the activity live, where someone can come in through a portal through the RealNex Navigator program. Now we can see where projects we have, where our leads are at. We can see which ones, didn't end up going anywhere. We can see which ones did go somewhere, and now we can manage those. What we want to do is we want to make sure that we're targeting prospecting. Now, utilizing our other things in future sessions, like listing for marketplace and listing syndication. Not only can you have your listing go out to your website, but other sites. Tourbook and our leasing app to show you how to shortlist, create surveys, how to negotiate your leases better than your competitors to save money for your clients. We'll talk a little bit about creating digital tour books and engagement and roundtabling with your clients. Investment in comparative lease analysis. Why it's so important to use a comparative lease analysis tool to give your client their rent schedule. Why it's so important to give that information to a landlord so they can help decide whether that's a great tenant for them or not. Remember, your job is to make sure that we get the tenants in the right spaces. We get the buyers in the right buildings. Otherwise, we're not going to have a good market for all of us. We'll talk a little bit about creating flyers, OMs, websites, and deal rooms in future sessions to come. Now, since I didn't have Jeff on here, things went a little bit quicker when we're at. So we do have some time for some questions. Some questions come in, and one is, Matt, what's the best way to get the comps inside the program? Well, the best way to get comps inside the program is to log into RealNex and click on RX Data. When you click on RX Data, it's going to bring you to our RX Data Services tab. From here, you can click Data Import, Comps, and choose whether you're importing comps for sale or for lease. Once you click here, read your disclaimer. Then you want to download the sales comp template or the lease comp template. What this allows you to do is not only it allows you to bring in the property, but it will also bring in the transaction and tie the two together. It's super important because our database is completely relational. If you've never used a relational database, you'll understand the power when you're in our program. A relational database will allow you to bring in not only the property, but it'll bring in the related information. So related contact, related company, related space details. It brings it all in when it brings in that import. So not only can it bring in the property, it can bring in the comp of that property, so the property that traded. It can also bring in the contact and the company. So it's a very powerful yet easy import tool to bring in that data. Another question looks like we have. So yes, this is a PDF. You can create this into a flip book. To turn any of these properties into comps, long as they're in your comp section inside the RealNex CRM, they're available for you in Market Edge comps. So just go into Market Edge and then click on Comp Library, and then you can pull them in from the CRM. So that's an easy way to bring that information in. Yeah, I can show this on a map as well. So if you want to map out the comps, you can do that. Our map's going to show 45, 60, 90, and you can change the amount of pins that you see on the map. But we do limit you to so many pins because we don't want to have 42,768 pins pop up at once. And yes, you can do the split screen as well. So if you like split screen like I do, you can do that. That's an easy way to do that. You'll also notice that you'll see some areas in here where it says new sales comp. We made it easy. So if you wanted to create a new contact when you're on a sales comp, you can. So my contact here, M. Smith, and then let's see here. I can't type today. And then here would be my email address because someone just asked for that as I'm typing this. And then it automatically populates that. Right. So again, we try to make the program as flexible as possible. Now in your comps, you might want to have different data. No problem. You can just right click and hit edit layout. As long as you are an administrator on the account or have layout rights, you can choose what's in here and what's not. You can choose to change this from general to anything you want within inside of the program, and then get your own custom layout within there. And we can help you design layouts. If you're not sure what information you need or what information is pertinent to you, let us know. We'd be happy to help create some custom layouts for you or with you within the program. How does my team access the information? Well, whenever you create a new record, whether it's a sales comp, a property, a contact, when you're creating the information in there, you're going to notice that it says team. Whether it's team everyone, that means everybody can see it. If it's team private, only you can see it or someone that has super user permissions. If you're part of an office team, everybody that's part of that office team would see that information. So if you are part of a large organization, a large team, or you're an independent practitioner, you can segment your database in multiple ways. When I import data, what happens when I get duplicates? Easy. Love this question. We have a duplicate merge tool that can merge up to 100 duplicates at a time. So our duplicate tool in here, you just hit duplicates and then proceed. And then you can decide what information is going to make that a duplicate, and then you can merge those at a time. And remember, you don't have to go back and watch me do this to merge duplicates. You can simply go to guide me, and then you can type in the word duplicate or just dupe, and this will walk you through how to find duplicates. And now it's going to walk you through step by step how to find duplicates. Guide me has a lot of nuggets in there, whether it's how to drag and drop pictures, how to merge duplicates. Guide me can do things like how to set up your Outlook synchronization, how to install the plugin, how to create a backup, or anything else that you may need. Guide me should have for you. Now, some of them will be videos that you'll see here and you can watch. Some of them will be on-screen guides, and you can see with the bubble that they're on screen. And you might want to go back and get your onboarding done again here, and you can go get your onboarding set up. Don't forget put your profile and your photo in there. And then we do have videos that are inside of the training course. We also have definitions. If you need help with underwriting, accumulation, acres, adjusted basis, or anything else, we can help you with that. So I know we're up against time, and I'm trying to get all the questions answered. Yes, this information is available for you on your iPhone and iPad. You can look at your comps on an iPhone and iPad. You can look at your deal room information, and you can look at your clients on there. It does track all your opens and clicks, not only in the real campaigns, but it does track all that information under the contact record as well. So maybe you're emailing a client out and the client's not opening your emails, but you think they are. Well, just open RealNex and you can see whether they opened it, clicked it, or not. If anybody has any additional questions, feel free to email us. We're happy to help. We thank you for all coming on. Hopefully you found this extremely valuable. We want to make sure that you're finding business by running profiles, targeting email campaigns, and lead management. We want you to help win. We want to convert those leads and opportunities into commission. Leverage the authoritative broker opinion of value on your data that's in your deals. Timelines, manage engagements, and we ultimately want to close and report back to our clients. Hope you all had a great Thursday. Remember, tomorrow is Friday the 13th. Enjoy the beautiful Friday the 13th, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much, everybody.